Greetings fellow guitar travellers and welcome to the land of Whittle with another episode of Judge Shred. I am the law. Apparently. On this week's Judge Shred we've got a particularly crazy diminished idea which combines two of my favourite things, which is wide stretches and of course, naturally, ludicrous speed. So we hope you enjoy that very much. Before we get into showing the lick, I'd like to encourage you to head on over to my website, which is www.roundjparker.com. There's a whole bunch of guitar stuff on that site, most of which is free. There's backing tracks you can download, a whole ton of lessons. There's also a shop where you can buy things if you like. As well as that, you can subscribe to the website by putting in your email address and hitting the subscribe button. If you subscribe to the website, I will send you a whole bunch of extra additional free subscriber material, be videos mostly. I won't be putting this stuff up anywhere else. It won't be on YouTube, won't distribute in anywhere else, just for subscribers to the website. So do yourself a favour and subscribe to the site. Alright, well, let's get straight down to it. This week's episode of Judge Shred. How low can my voice go? Let's do it! Okay, well that was particularly insane, I think, and it looks awesome for the left hand, doesn't it, as the left hand sort of goes across 3 octaves and pretty much just a continuous flow. It's not as hard to play as it looks though, so let's get into showing it to you. First of all, we should say the sort of thing it actually is, it's a diminished scale, which is sometimes called the 1+2 or 2+1 diminished scale. So let me just explain what that is. A proper diminished scale is constructed this way. It's constructed out of just tones and semitones. So you'd have tone, semitone, tone, semitone, tone, semitone, tone, semitone, and so on, just continuously. You can also invert the scale, in which case it'll start with a semitone, it'll be semitone, tone, semitone, tone, semitone, tone, semitone, tone, so on. Diminished scales you can play over diminished 7th chords, or you can play over dominant 13 flat 9 chords. I'm not going to get into the sort of the theory of it today. I will tell you that the chord that I was playing this liner against was a diminished 7th, okay? So that's the chord you hear in the keyboard in the background, just for context. Alright, well, let's get into showing you exactly, how to play this thing. And it leverages this wide stretch, which I've actually used on a couple of other videos, so we're getting used to this sort of stuff by now. I think on the previous lick of the week I showed you this shape, and we used it to create a fairly whittlesome sounding minor run. But here we're leveraging the same shape to create the diminished thing. So here's the actual fingering shape. We've got a tone, semitone, then tone, and the digitation is just 1, 2, 3, 4. And this particular shape you're going to use throughout the entire leg. It's going to be that shape. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just explain to you the mechanics of how we move the shape around, and then we'll give you the precise verbal tab, alright? So what we're going to do is play this shape and then move it forward 1 semitone on each string, alright? So have a listen. Move it forward to position 6. Same left hand fingering shape though. Position 7. Again, same shape, position 8. Now because of the way the guitar's tuned here, I need to move up 2 frets, okay? So I'm going to move to position 10 here. And then finally on the high string, position 11. So you can see it's just one pattern or one left hand shape which I'm just moving across the guitar. I hope that's fairly clear. And the articulation is usual for me. It's pick the first note and then I'm going to hammer on the remaining 3 notes. Okay, so that's how I'm going to articulate the entire line. So let me go ahead and just give you the verbal tab, alright, of the ascending part. So let's have a listen. It's low E 5, 7, 8, 10. And then on the A string, we've got 6, 8, 9, 11. And then on the D, it's 7, 9, 10, 12. And then on the G, we've got, let's see what we've got 8, 10, 11 and 13. And then moving on to the B string is B 10, 12, 13 and 15. And then finally high E is 11, 13, 14 and 16. There's also licks like this particular lick. One of my other legato videos, which I'm sure you'll find on the site. I can't quite remember which one it is now. I'm sure you'll find it if you look for it. Alright, so that's the ascending run, just straight up. Straightforward, right? Okay, so that's the ascending half. Let's go ahead and start to show you the descending half now. And predictably, the descending half is just, you know, the mirror reverse of the ascending section, but I'll tell you exactly what the notes are anyway. So descending down from high E16, we've got 16, 14, 13 and then 11 for that one. Alrighty. Oop. And then we're going to move in a semitone with the pinky. Okay, to that note. So we've got B 15, 13, 12 and 10. Alrighty. And then remember the way the guitar's tuned here, we need to move in a tone, 2 frets, right? So the pinky's going to go into G13 and we're going to play 13, 11, 10 and then 8. Then the pinky in a semitone again onto fret 12, so we're going to have 12, 10, 9 and 7. And then predictably in a semitone again on the A string. So we've got 11, 9, 8 and 6. And then finally onto the low E string. So we're back to where we started. We've got low E 10, 8, 7 and 5. Alrighty. So the principal difficulty with this line is just keeping the hand expanded enough and then also dealing with the position shifts, because there's position shifts pretty much on every string. So the way that I'm dealing with it is try and just visualise the shape being locked. So the hand shape is really just the same for me. And what I mean by that is that I'm not really so much seeing all the frets, because there's a ton of notes there. I'm just thinking about my shape, my hand shape being this, and then just thinking, right, I'm going to move up 1 fret every time and then back 1 fret every time. And that's the way I'm thinking about it. Alright, so it's not as hard to play as it looks. It looks and sounds absolute monster, but you know, it's not as killing as all that. So let's go ahead and listen to it one more time and appreciate its tremendous nonsensical awesomeness. Alright, here we go, let's have a listen. And that concludes another episode of Judge Shred. Tune in next time for more shred-tastic nonsense. Before I go, other than encouraging you to look at the website and subscribe of course, other ways you can get in contact with me, you can find me on SoundCloud, and the SoundCloud is Rowan-Parker, on Twitter at RowanJParker, on YouTube of course, the YouTube channel is Rowan J Parker. And what else? Facebook, yes, Facebook, Rowan J Parker. I have a Facebook page you can like. So, that does it. I'll catch you next time for more insane whittle. Until then, farewell.